Thank you, Hiranti, again, and the PSSL for giving me this opportunity. And today I'm going to have the presentation on wildlife sans Big Five. So why I have chosen wildlife sans Big Five is normally as photographers, when we go to national parks, can anyone hear me?
Yes, can hear.
As photographers, when we go to national parks, we always expect for Big Five. So you all may know that Big Fives are elephants, leopards, sloth bears, and in ocean, of course, blue whales and the sperm whales. Inland, when we go to national parks, we always look for leopards, elephants, and sloth bears. So most of the time we fail to go with that because so most of the days we fail to, we disappoint with the sighting of leopards. We may not see any leopards and elephants, sloth bears till our entire safari. So during that time, my opinion is I never want to like depend on only on these big five or big three in the national parks. So I'm going to share some pictures what I have taken so far. I'll start with the first picture. So this is I took in Vilpattu National Park. Of course, this was real good experience for me in the sense of learning through photography, because how they were suffered to looking for water. The pond was entirely empty. Even the man-made ponds also were empty, no water there. So with the babies, there were a couple of languors with babies. So no water, they were just digging the mud and drinking water. So even if we can, while waiting for leopards, so we can take nice pictures and we can learn a lot from these moments. And this is one of another pictures, one of my favorite pictures, I would say. So we can take some close-up shots as well of the monkeys. So this is one of my favorite black and white portrait. So I'm not that good in editing, especially in black and white. And if you spend some time, because I like to shoot monkeys, because especially baby monkeys, they really entice us, because if we give them a space to enjoy their life, enjoy their activities, so we can enjoy them seeing or taking photographs, nice photographs. So there were a couple of baby monkeys and they were playing, hanging on the trees, fighting each other. So I was lucky to take some good pictures of those. So this is one of that. And wild boar, this is, I was able to go for a low angle because we were in a bungalow, Mardamado bungalow in Vilpattu. So in the evening time after our safari, I think, yeah, not after safari means after during the lunch period, we went back to the bungalow, and there was one wild boar. So I was actually wanted to take a low angle shot. So this was a fantastic, I would say it was fantastic shots out of my collection of wild boars. So there is another which I took it from Vilpattu. And king mongoose from Kumana. So mostly we see mongoose in other Vilpattu National Parks and Yala, but Kumana we can most of the times we can see say many king mongoose in the area, in the park. So this was fine time. It was I think searching for food. So we had enough time to take some good pictures of that. This was my favorite out of the collection during that time which I have to taken. And not only the animals, during our visit, normally what we look for is big animals, not only the big five or the other animals or birds. And apart from that, we can have a close-up looks of those trees, or even if you request your tracker or the driver to show some the species what we have not seen in the parks. So this was first time, because I always request my tracker and the driver to show us something different, or else if there is anything which we have not seen, don't miss anything to, because don't think that we are only for there to see or photograph leopards. So I always request that, so they know. So this was the first time I have seen the painted lizard. So after that, I think this was the one and only time I was able to take some good shots. Thereafter, I think I didn't get a chance to take any close-up shots like this. This was in Yala. So buffalo is one of my favorite, because they pose. They like to pose to our, I mean, photographs. So I was waiting in the morning hours, because the common myna was really enjoying their breakfast by, I mean, catching the flies, sitting on the buffaloes. So we spent some time, because my friends were asking why I taking so many pictures of buffaloes when the sightings are there. So I said, give me a chance, and we waited like 15 minutes, and I took this shot. There were a couple of shots, but this was my favorite. So when you spend time, so even though there are possibilities for leopards or sloth bears, elephants, so spend some time with these species, and I think everybody can get nice moments to capture these kind of pictures. So this is another favorite shot of buffalo from Kumana National Park. It has lost one eye, left side one. And this was during a very sunny time. I would say, I think it's about 12:30 or 1 o'clock. So I just purposely wanted to take this shot for the black and white. And I edited and I increased some exposure and took this shot, this look. And the, what do you call, the pose of the posing and everything is really, I enjoyed when I'm taking pictures of buffaloes. This is a little, I would say, cub of golden jackal. This was in Udawalawa National Park. So Udawalawa, I thought they were, because I was expecting jungle cat in Udawalawa. This was one and only visit to Udawalawa. So, but unfortunately, we were end up with no jungle cats. But I was really lucky to take some closer shots of golden jackals. This is a little one. There were 4 or 5 golden jackals in that area, and they were like, normally golden jackals are very scared and they are very shy animals. So I have never seen that, because I have seen a lot of golden jackals every time when I visit parks, but normally when we see a golden jackal just close by, they run away. They don't stay. They don't give you a pose or anything. So these jackals they were playing in the evening, like 5:30. So I was enjoying taking pictures of them, couple of nice shots. So this is one of the little one who was playing and just hiding behind some bushes, and I was really lucky to take this shot, and I am really interested to take some shots through bushes and all, having some blurry effect of the leaves, and I feel like it gives some artistic look. And this is one of the big one in the same situation. So I was lucky to take this very close shot. I think this is my best shot ever from the golden jackals. So this is from Vilpatu, a family of golden jackal with the 2 little one. So I would say, if you all can spend some time with any species in the park, don't just depend on leopard and sloth bears. Enjoy all the activities of any species in the parks, whether it's small or big. even because I have not included any birds here. I just wanted to, during this time, just to show the small animals what I have taken from the parks. So I did not include any bird photography here, because it's normal, because when photographers go to park, they used to take pictures of birds. So thank you. So I just selected only few pictures, since I got, I think, 10 minutes, right, Hiranti? So if
20 minutes, I said 20. If you have some more, you can share, Harry. You have time.
okay, I have selected only these pictures,
Okay.
and if you can ask me anything, so I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we can, if there are questions.
Harry, yeah, this is Laya here. Do you take in burst mode or just single shots?
Burst mode, the high. I always, minimum I take 3 shots.
Because I saw some shots where the eyes were sometimes closed by the bush. The bush is beautiful, but it's one of the problems is that sometimes they actually go behind that one, for example.
Yeah.
It's a nice one, but one of the eyes is closed because of the bush.
Yeah, I actually wanted that effect, because I have the shot of both eyes are open, but I
really?
just wanted to focus on one eye, because rather than seeing both eyes, I feel from my aspect, I may be wrong, or it's my taste to have, like, since one is close, I feel like it's more powerful with one eye. I actually have the both eyes visible.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Thank you.
And Harry has a identification. I would say you have your own identity of photographs. No, he has this where he takes through bushes, and
No, that's a nice.
he gets like a very nice 3D effect, because he gets the bushes in front, and he shoots through the bushes.
Yeah.
I actually don't have much photos in these animals, Hiranti, mostly birds and
birds. Yeah, I've
mostly
seen your
birds. I was lucky to do that, because we have space to move here and there, right? So
I just as a comment, I have a feeling that since you got this particular photograph, just crop it all up, just the eye part of it. That probably might be very nice, just through the
yes.
foliage.
Yeah, I can try and see that.
Yeah, the ear.
True. Well, very close portrait, right?
Very cropped.
Yeah, very cropped, very tight cropped. Thank you for the tip. I will do and see.
Because I saw two actually with one eye closed. I mean, so you made me down.
This one is closer than that. Yes.
Yeah. This is a beautiful one.
Lovely shot.
Thank you.
Only thing is that, again, that little twig on the left-hand side kind of, encroaches into things. But the thing is a beautiful shot.
Yes, that was unfortunate. Can't help. So they were like hide and seek. They were hiding behind small bushes, small trees, and giving a pose. Normally, it's not their habit. I don't think it's their behavior. But that was a surprise to see that they were like hiding and giving a pose and playing, because normally they were really very, very shy animals.
Nice and sharp images.
Thank you.
Harry, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm Rohan Pereira. This is your shot on the wild buffalo, where you get the myna bird just flying over the horn.
This one, right?
Yeah. Did you actually time this? You're sort of expecting these birds to fly across, or you just had it on continuous shooting and this bird happened to fly right on the tip of the horn?
I think I have more than 100 photos of these mynas and buffaloes in the same situation.
Right.
So I have been enjoying because the morning hour, I said it was in the morning, and the light was perfect.
Yeah.
And you can see the hairs of, I would say, hairs of these buffaloes in golden color.
Yes.
So I was taking different aspects of pictures with those kind of, I think I have some other pictures as well in the folders.
Yeah.
So I was expecting, because these miners were not continuously sitting on the buffaloes, because
Yes, yes.
buffaloes are using the tail, they are chasing the miners away.
Right, right.
So I was expecting this flying shot, wanted to
Yeah.
take that and got this shot.
So you were on aperture mode
Yes,
and with continuous shooting.
continuous shoot, yes.
Right, right. So how far was the buffalo from you when you photographed this?
Buffaloes were like 20 to 30 meters away.
Ah, right. So you used like a medium depth of field, is it? Like
Sorry?
F8 or F12 or something?
You mean aperture?
Aperture.
Yeah, I don't go up to 12. I think it should be less than 9, maybe 7.1 or 9.
Right.
I'm not pretty sure. Yeah, it should be 7.1, either 9.
I
I
also
don't,
like the foreground you put in with the leaves and all that sort of thing in part focus. That's also very nice.
Yes,
Okay, Hari, thanks.
thank you.
I think that the group of the jackals that you have, I think at what time of the day did you take that? That must be daytime, right? That one?
Yeah, this is a daytime one. This was a bit long time, I think 2 years back in Vilpattur.
Do you take raw pictures or JPEGs?
I always go for raw pictures.
In that case, you can reduce the exposure a little bit to make it little bit contrasty.
True. I didn't try I wanted to try this editing now, because I was really weak that time. I actually didn't do much editing like 1.5 years back.
Okay.
When I'm comparing my old pictures, I am satisfied with the editing level what I'm doing now. So as you said, I think exposure is too much of exposure here, and could have brought the detail also more than this.
Harry, this Marcel here, what is the lens that you're using? What is the lens you are using?
For this picture, Marshall?
No, generally for the buffalo pictures.
Buffalo pictures, I think that time I bought my 500mm prime, 5.6.
Right.
This golden jackal, this group photo is from my previous one, Tamron 150-600.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Now I am using Nikon D850 and 500mm, and some other small lenses as well.
I want prime. Is it prime lens?
It's a prime lens. It's lightweight and very handy.
What is
this is the one what I am carrying in the picture now.
Yeah.
This is the lens. This is 500mm.
Yes,
it's
but
500mm.
It doesn't look like 500.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody sees that it's 500mm.
500mm and aperture?
5.8.
5.6.
5.6.
Oh my God. No.
That's a nice lens.
Yeah, it's a nice lens, and weight is, I think, a little less than 7,200. Very comfortable.
So it's a little less weighty than the 150 to 600mm.
Yeah, it's almost half a weight.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is very comfortable in the parks and taking bird in flight.
200-500 is quite heavy. I am using a 200-500. That's very heavy.
200-500 is really heavy.
Heavy lens, yeah.
This is very light one.
Is it a prime lens or a zoom?
It's prime lens,
It's
Marshall.
a prime.
It's 500.
500.
5.6 prime.
Prime.
500, 5.6.
Aperture is fixed here. I think
lenses like that would be fast focusing also, I think.
Yes, that's what I went for this lens, because this focus speed is almost, I think, I'm not exactly sure, but it should be equal to the 300mm 2.8 prime, or else little less than, because as far as I have remembered, I think it's 0.6 seconds the focusing speed is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very fast, especially during the action and all. The focusing is very fast, and contrast also really good.
That's what I find in the 150 to 600. It's a nice lens. It's a good cost-effective lens, but the focusing sometimes tends to do a little bit of shuttling back and forth.
Are you using 150-600 G2 or?
G2.
Yeah, I actually used the same lens, and really nice lens. We can compare the lens with the two. Yeah, 200, 500, when the steady shots are really sharp and very good, but I found very difficult to take action shots, especially bird in flight and all action shots. Very
True.
slow in focusing.
True.
Yeah, that was the main reason to just quit that and go for a good one. And Hiranti, this year entirely, I think I didn't go to a single
park.
park. Yeah, 12 months now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no latest pictures for almost 1 year now.
Yeah.
I'm planning to go actually before the end of the year.
Okay.
Planning by next year.
Okay.
But you came
But
to
of course,
park,
park.
no?
Yeah, we met at the you
Met,
came
met last time, yeah.
Yasuru Park.
Yasuru Park
The
you
day
came,
Yeah,
the
I
day COVID the day second wave started, Harry, we went, but there weren't much photographic opportunity that day, no?
yeah, true.
Yeah.
I mean, parks mean national
National
parks.
parks.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
even
national
other
parks are
also.
open, and there are quite a bit of people these days.
Yeah, parks are open. Parks are open, but I am a bit busy with one of the projects.
Work,
So I think hopefully by next week I can go.
Okay.
I'm planning, but I don't know what's going to happen.
Any more questions for Harry? Okay. Thank you, Harry. That was a very nice and unusual presentation. I hope I didn't confuse you by saying 10 minutes. You would have gone on for 20 minutes. But
I'm really sorry about it because I was thinking it's 10 minutes and selected
no
few
problem.
photos.
No problem. But you showed some unusual shots, and also the fact that your what do you call it? Your identity is these photographs that you take through bushes and that 3D effect, especially in your bird photography. The presentation you did at the beginning of the year, that identity was very well seen, Harry. So
yes,
as you move along, you develop your own identity. So I think that's some identity that you have for your photographs.
Thank you very much, Hiranti, for that.
Thank you, Harry. We will now ask Ashan to share his presentation.
Yeah, thanks, Hiranti. Well done, Harry. Superb presentation with lovely photos.
Thank you very much, Ashan.
Ashan, by the way, is still at work. He's doing this presentation from a branch.
Hiranti, can you all see the screen?
Yeah, can see.
Okay.
Put it in slide mode. Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Good evening, friends. This is the first time I'm sharing my images captured by me, other than what I have shared on FB. As you can see, I have not prepared these images for any purpose of entering any competitions, mainly due to my poor post-processing knowledge, and I always want to have the image in the natural effect, but I think this would have been much more nicer if I can improve my post-processing techniques. These are the raw images captured during my visits to many parts of the island in the course of my office work, as well as on pleasure trips. And I'm not an expert on the technicalities of photography, and therefore these may seem a little like amateurist. This was captured at Mahalia Bungalow around 6 a.m. Early in the morning with the morning dew. This was and at the same time I'm using a Nikon 5300. That's an intermediate camera along with the 70 to 300 lens and the 200 to 500 lens. This was also at Mahalia early morning around about 5:45. Same at the same place, Mahalia, with the shadows. Sun is just coming up. And the picture with the dew. This is the first light at Mahalia again. The entire ground was covered with the fog, and sun is also coming up, and I think this is a bit overexposed, I think, because of this from the right corner of this image. This is also a sunrise at Hinwa Bungalow Yala. This was taken a couple of years back, I think 3 or 4 years back, while we were at Mahaili Bungalow. Sorry, at Hinwa Bungalow. Another image of sunrise at this was captured at Madhuroya a couple of months back, just after a factory visit to that area, Kadurvela. This was captured at Vaunia. This was while I was traveling on the moving train. Again, the morning light at Vaunia. Same, this was also at Vaunia. This while I was traveling by train, this was captured. This was at Yala couple of months back, but the image is not that good because this was still too far for me. I was using the 200 to 500 lens, but even though it was too far for me, this place is called I think Duragaha or something. This was at Udawalawa National Park. This was also captured about 3 to 4 years back while we are on a day trip to Udawalawa. Again, a morning shot at Vilpattu National Park. Along with our NTB team, we went to Vilpattu after launching this photographic society at NTB. This was captured during that time. This particular butterfly was captured at Aptidia Sanctuary a couple of years back. This one was also at Vilpattu during a visit, I think in 2018 with my office colleagues. That also I think can be improved, like the post processing. This is a raw image just submitted. Not like I mean, this is not perfect like Harry's Jackals, but this was also at Vilpattu. But I think the focus is not that great. But anyway, I like this image because all of a sudden he pops from these bushes, and I was ready with my camera. Luckily on at that time. This was also at Vilpattu during a lunch break. I captured this. Actually, we waited there for I think almost 45 minutes to get these images for the pattern. I mean, they were flying here and there, but all of a sudden, all three were on the same line. I was lucky enough to get this image quickly. This was at Kalaweva recently, 3 weeks back. Barana and the clan. Either way, they are violating all these social distancing. They are putting trunks on each other's mouths. This was also at Kalaweva, Barana with in the background. This was also at Kalaweva, a fight between Asala and Mangala. Bird pitch images. This was captured at Vilpattu during the same visit 2018 and 18. This was captured during our office visit to Nuwara. This was around 10 a.m. But the lighting is not that good, and also my post processing is very weak since that maybe the quality of the image is not that good as well. This was at Horton Plains couple of years back. That was one of my initial pictures. I think this was in 2014 or 15. That was also during office visit to Horton Plains. This is the most, my favorite image. This was after lunch at Vilpattu at Yala National Park. While we were having a nap, I saw these spotted deers was crossing the road, but all of a sudden they stand to a certain pattern, and at the same time there was an alarm call. Then all of us were on alert mode. I was lucky enough, and I was lucky enough to capture the image, and but even the processing can be improved on this. So I thought of getting some help from Hiranti and Pandula for this processing stuff. This was soon after rain at Ohiya. While we were returning from Horton Plains, I got this image. Mongoose at Yala a couple of months back. This was at Kaudulla couple of years ago. I went to Kaudulla with Ravi. At that time, I was taking images on auto mode, but with Ravi's help, this was captured on manual. Same at the same place. This was at Kalaweva, a sunset image. This was captured by using my mobile phone. Another image while I'm returning from Badulla. This was also captured by using the mobile phone. This was also a sunset image taken at Giranduru Kotte while I was traveling to Kaduruwela via Siembalanduwa. I was lucky enough to see this, and I quickly got down from the vehicle and got this image. Luckily, I had my camera with me at that time. That's it from me. I have a very basic stuff compared to Harry. So you can ask any questions, but then again, I'm a little too weak for answer the technicalities of this stuff as well.
Shan, this is Mevan.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So one thing I really enjoyed your pictures in Horton Plains. Were they all taken by a camera or you use the phone as well?
Horton Plains, everything was taken by camera.
Okay. All right. So lots of pictures that you have taken during trips. No wonder that you sometimes go missing. So not answering the phone even. So this tells you everyone's the story that why you are not picking up the phone during even during the free time. Let's forget about the working time. Okay. And that picture of the DS on the road.
That was at Yala.
Distance or close by?
That was from a distance.
Which lens did you use in that?
The 200 to 500 lens.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not this one.
This one, eh?
You know, Ashant, it has I really like the ones in the middle are in a pattern. Plus the ones on the side really gives the picture
small ones,
some
yes.
Which some closeness. They also look in the same way, and there's a pattern there as well. Beautiful shot.
There were a few on the other side as well, but with the alarm call, they ran off. I couldn't.
But this is really in a pattern. Lovely shot. What is the lens you said you used for this? 200
to 500.
If you give a little bit of touch from post-processing, most of these photographs would be really nice.
Really nice.
Yeah, that's why I want Kiranti and Pandula to.
So you should keep some time for that as well now during your trips. So
well, you have the great thing that many people don't have, which is a nice eye for photography.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very nice eye. That's what I also told him. Very nice eye. Lovely compositions. Even that leopard, Ashan, coming down the tree. With the wideness in that, the wideness. I put that. Yes, I like even the trees behind, the way it is composed. It gives a lovely environment.
Yeah, those types of shots, I don't think it has to be like pin sharp.
No, it doesn't.
That gives, yes.
Nice shot. Only if the leopard was a little bit more sharper, but still the environment you got is I really like it.
That shot of the fog, I think the further out, the little further down.
At Mahalia?
I don't know where it was. You said that someplace is a beautiful shot.
This one?
No, not that one.
Going.
Before.
This is also nice. No, one I'm referring to the further down.
Yes, this is a Norelia.
This one, yeah.
I like the shot.
Close to Badarakanda
nice
temple.
Shot. But a little bit of processing can be turned into a good shot.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful shot.
Yeah, it is.
Around
You
what
see,
time?
This was around, I think, 11:30.
11:30 in the morning.
Yeah, 11:30 in the morning. Yeah.
Wow.
Where did you say this is Norelia?
Norelia, close to Bamarakanda temple here.
Oh, that's in the main Bamarakanda temple, the main road.
Yeah, main road. Yeah.
Ashan, Harry here, nice shots.
Yeah.
I like
Thanks,
those
Harry.
two shots. One leopard coming down from the tree, as Iranti said. The dense of the jungle gives a really good background. And I think my opinion is, if did you crop that picture?
Oh no.
It's the original shot.
Original
right?
shot, yes.
Okay. What I felt was, if you have cropped, then if you have space right around, then I think it will be more better than this one, I feel. And other one is this shot, the 4Ds. And if you can take the detail from the post processing now, I think my opinion is you can go further tight crop, and you can avoid those 3Ds on the left side.
And then go for this 4.
Nice,
you don't like the 3Ds on the left hand side, Harry? I of course love those 3Ds on the left hand side.
I like those 3Ds, but I'm looking at those 4Ds because 2 heads on both sides. Like one body and 2 heads, right?
Yeah.
So, and the tire tracks adds to that pattern.
Yes, it's really a nice shot.
Very nice shot.
On Rohan Pereira.
Yeah, Rohan.
This is your shot on Madhura, like the lake with the sunset at the back.
Oh yeah.
Was that shot with a wide angle lens? It's like
no. This was taken. No. This was taken with the 300 lens. Oh no, sorry, kit lens. It was taken with the kit lens.
Yeah, but like you were on a wide angle, like you were on 14 or 18 millimeters. Or...
I think 18 to 55.
It's nice because it has got like a tapering effect into the picture. The clouds, and the reflection on the water, it all tapers straight into that sunset. So.
Ashan, this is not a long exposure, right?
No.
Yeah, you put it on a tripod and a long exposure. This would have looked really beautiful. Because the sky has real. Huh?
It has the same effect as if it was zoomed.
Yeah. But this on a slow shutter will look really nice, Ashan.
Yeah.
Still without post processing, the shots are really good, Ashan. Congratulations.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah. So for to the rest of the people in the wildlife and nature group, this is this is the idea of this whole thing. Getting Ashan to present these pictures actually prove the objective of this program, because he takes photographs but it doesn't come out. Now he showcased some very nice photographs, and with a little bit of improvement on post processing, those pictures can look very excellent. So for the rest of the people in the group, this is the objective of what we are doing, and I would earnestly request everybody to get the idea and start looking at their pictures and think about presenting the photographs for others to also see where you can also improve. Any more questions about the program or anything to do with the wildlife group? If not, we can close up. Once again, Ashan and Harry, thank you very much for those presentations. The membership really enjoyed it, and we will continue with the similar sort of presentations in the future monthly meetings as well. Anybody, I would like people to volunteer to present if they are keen. With that, we will close up for today. Thank you very much once again.